you're another person that shares lots of knowledge. What are you seeing out there now that your audience says need? I mean, when you present, is there a theme of some sort that maybe is a little different? Is it the same? Tell me about that.
Well, being in business for 34 years as a speaker, you always want to remain timely, topical, and relevant. The landscape has changed. The way people consume information has changed. The younger generations, whether you're Gen Z, Gen Y, Gen X, traditionalist, boomer, whatever letter you want to give yourself, people consume information different. So one of the things that's changed is, people are going to be on their phones doing your presentation. They have shorter attention spans. They have the high BS detector on. So they're always looking at authenticity and whether or not it's going to be real. There's, you want to create short concepts, short stories. You want to show how you're contributing back to the community. So there's a change in how I present now than what I might have done even a decade ago, and certainly past post-COVID. So in order to engage the audience, the content is one thing, but it's the delivery. So you can be the best expert in the world, but if you don't know how to deliver it, then it doesn't make an impact. And you can be someone who's funny, but if you have no content. So the real balance here is, how are you entertaining like you, because you're so funny and you sing and have all these other talents, which of course I'd love to be funny and be able to do that. I just have to rely on, a whole lot of content and expertise. And I would say humor, but some people would call it being a smart ass. Oops, if I hit my button or not that time. But what I would tell you is, it has changed. I mean, so presentations are different, more interaction, more questions involving the audience, more stories, tell a story, make a point. That's always been a key concept, but the stories have to be shorter and more concise, or we lose the audience.
Yeah. And I'm seeing too, like, I'm going to Salt Lake City Friday, and I'm looking forward to it. And so it's a large agricultural farm bureau, the American Farm Bureau. And I have a lot of clients there. And I'm going to go there in person and share my new program, and is very, very strategic. And it's out of my genre, but it's something, and it's the 5 avoidable mistakes my family made trying to preserve our family farm. And I mean, Ford, I didn't even get it out of my mouth. I'm speaking to a group in Louisiana, and I said, I came up with this, and I said, well, I'm going to do the humor thing, but if you need a breakout. They went, that's perfect. So I'm seeing a real intentional message of takeaways. I mean, big time. Like, you do that. You're constantly studying, generating material, stories, takeaways, and you're seeing the pulse of what is needed. And the thing on AI, that's huge. You really hit on that in a big way. That's super important in the world we live in. Because you know what? Somebody could go into Chat GPT 4.0. I know you probably use 80.2, and say, give me the greatest insurance agent. And, they could do their business just from AI telling them who to call. It's crazy.
So yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt your flow, but so the key here, so everybody listening, you get a pen and write this down. It's profitrichresults.com/mastering-AI. So if you want to go there, you can opt in, you can go watch the video, and I got some bonuses. It's free. There's nothing to buy. But what I would tell you is, people always ask me, is AI going to take over the world? And my answer is probably. I think it probably will. Until it does, I'm going to be nice to it and use these tools. If you try to avoid saying you don't want to use these tools, you're going to get left behind. It's not going to replace humans, but it's going to replace humans that aren't using these tools. So regardless of your role, your level of responsibility, whether you're in operations, sales, marketing, customer experience, leadership, management, team building, it doesn't matter. These tools can help you. If you're an accountant, if you're in legal, supply chain, it doesn't matter. You can use these tools. So think about it. I would just tell the audience here listening that think of AI like an intern, not an expert, because it will hallucinate and it'll make things up. It's not a replacement for thinking. It's like having an assistant. So it's an assistant, it's an intern. And in order to get the best results out of these tools, doesn't matter whether you're using ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot or Google's Gemini or Google's Bard or Anthropic or one of the 100 of other websites that are out there, because there's thousands of derivatives now that are using the large language models. it's all about how you ask it questions. So if I'm going to speak in insurance, instead of saying, okay, what's the best insurance company? Because that's more of a Google question. What I might say is, I'm this old and I've got this many assets and I'm looking to make sure I'm properly insured. Can you give me a list of questions to ask my insurance agent to ensure that I'm getting the best company? So you're using it more as an assistant to help you make the decision than necessarily pick one company over another company. But it can help you write songs and humor and love letters and answer disgruntled customers. It can help you with proposals. It can help you with email. It can do math. It can do high-level data analysis. We were just doing a financial meeting with a company, and I said, "What's your burn rate?" And they said, "Well, I don't understand. What do you mean burn rate?" And I said, "Well, the burn rate is taking your total expenses divided by the number of employees divided by the number of hours, so you know what is each hour worth, and are you using the highest and best use of your time? At what point should you hire somebody to do something versus do it yourself?" And again, we went into the whole topic. Well, I went to ChatGPT and I said, well, if my general overhead expenses per month is $50,000 and I've got 4 staff people, what's my burn rate? And it said, okay, well, per person per month, it's $12,500, and per hour, it's $78.20 or something like that. But it'll do math. It can do Excel spreadsheets. It can scrub databases. It can write programming code. So if you're listening and you're thinking, if you're thinking, oh my God, it can do so much, what I would tell people is you need to go watch that video I produced. And the problem we have, Jane, as speakers, anytime something new comes out, like when YouTube came out, every speaker was a YouTube expert. When LinkedIn came out, every speaker. And when social media became a thing, every speaker was, I'm a motivational speaker, but I'm also, so now I'm seeing in my feed on Facebook and things, everybody with a laptop is now calling themselves an AI expert.
Oh, that's great.
You know, and so the key here is it's not about me being the ultimate expert, but what you want is be open-minded, be a critical thinker, do your own research, play with the tools, and then you'll see, wow, it can really help you in any role in your business.
Do you think it's going to take away a lot of the jobs that you know, we're hearing that it's going to take away?
No, it already has. It's taking hundreds of thousands of jobs away. So anything that's task-oriented or anything that's repetitive is going to be replaced with AI or robotics. It just is, because it's cheaper, easier, and faster.
I saw a California restaurant hamburger joint. It was nothing but AI. I mean, they fix your burger. They do. I mean, that's robotics as well. But
there are AI assistants now. When you call a company, it answers the phone and talks to you like a real person. So it's not just an automated attendant that says press 1 for sales, put 2 for customer service. It'll actually say, hi, welcome to Prime Concepts. Hey, I'd like to talk to Ford. Hey, well, great. I'd love to get you connected to Ford. What's your name? Like, it can actually have an intelligent conversation. We're not talking about pre-programmed responses based on what someone says. We're talking about like a sentient being that can see, hear, think, and produce things. So AI right now can talk to you. It can have a conversation. I can take a photo. I can take a photo of you right now and say, describe it. It'll describe what you're wearing. It'll describe the photos on your desk. It'll describe the lamp and the background and the door. I can ask you, it can listen to 3 seconds of your voice and it can clone it. And it can also, you know, it can do some pretty fancy things. Like, I'm going to put this on the screen now because you're using StreamYard to broadcast this episode right now. It's not going to play full screen, but you'll be able to get the point. So right now, don't worry,
there's really only 4 ways to grow a business. Number 1, you want more clients, but we don't want more clients. We want higher value clients.
So what it's going to do right now is it's going to be AI in different languages. So
Número 2, aumentar la transacción promedio. Sucede al agrupar o agregar mejoras de valor y ventas cruzadas para añadir recomendación via une
so there it is, me speaking French.
Améliorer fear. Optimieren Sie Ihre Abläufe.
There's German.
Einer der besten専門家でビジネスを成長させる方法。
And there's Japanese.
だからシンプルに保ち。
So don't worry, we didn't watch the whole video. And if it was off the screen, the point is, I can update my link. I did a presentation. I got hired to speak to a company in Montreal, and they wanted French captions. They wanted me to record the video and put French captions. And I said, would you rather have me speak in English with French captions or me speaking in French using AI? And they said, well, we'd love to have AI. So I did my whole presentation in English. And then I used a program called HeyGen to convert it to French and sent it to them. So I did my whole presentation in French. So if you want to think about the possibilities of multilingual communication, there's phones right now and even eyeglasses where if someone comes up and speaks to you in another language, there's a sensor in your ear that automatically converts it to English. And then when you speak, there's a speaker on your chest that can actually answer them. So, I mean, where this is headed, I mean, I think it's really important, regardless of where you are and you're listening to this episode. This is going to impact everything in your life. I think it's going to ruin marriages and relationships. It's going to ruin the social structure. It's affecting how people are learned. It's affecting the universities, like our friend at High Point, near to Quebec. It's affecting High Point University. You know, students are using it to write the papers. Teachers and professors are using it to grade the papers. So its impact is just going, and it's accelerating at such a rapid speed.
Yeah.
So, you know, just think about all the different things that it's doing there.